Okay guys, please cook faster because we have a lot of customer today.
Yes, ma'am.
Desiree, you put too much foods and your serving is too large for our price.
I apologize for my mistake, ma'am. It's just that I'm new here. I'm sorry.
It's okay. To assist you, you should be aware of the number of serving portion.
Ma'am, I have no idea about that.
I just teach you. A portion size is the amount of food you choose to consume or prepare for a meal or snack, whether in a restaurant, from a package, or in your own kitchen. A serving size is the predetermined amount of food or beverage, such as one slice of bread or one cup of milk. One of the most important factors is the size of the portion that we serve. Studies have shown that people eat more food and consume more calories when greater portion sizes are available. Smaller proportion food, according to research, can have the opposite impact, causing people to eat fewer calories and less food, which can contribute to weight loss. So we really need to know the proper number of serving portion.
Is it important?
Yes, it is. Look at me. I'm doing great. Because I know the proper number of serving portion.
But how is it important?
Knowing the proper number of serving portions allow us to keep track of how many calories we're consuming. This way, we eat what our body requires rather than mindlessly overeating. Additionally, you can match serving size to portion size by knowing the appropriate number of serving portions. Our customers might be able to control their sugar, fat, and calories if they eat no more than a serving size.
Thank you, Ma'am Alpha and John Ray. I will certainly put everything you said into practice.
Come in!
Good afternoon, ma'am. Here's the overall income for this month.
Oh no, why is it decreasing? My restaurant will run into a loss if it continues.
Ma'am, I know that there is an exact reason for its decrease.
But what exactly the reason? I think it's because of how I price my dish. Call all of our employees. We will have a meeting.
Okay, ma'am. Guys, don't go home yet. Ma'am Alpha was looking for all of you because we had a meeting.
I wonder if what will we gonna talk in the meeting?
Yes, me too. Let's go.
I'm sorry guys, but right now I need to fire 2 employees because of financial reason. Our income is decreasing and it's because of how I price my dish. I hope you understand this. Joyce and Maria, I really need to fire the 2 of you because I can't afford to pay a salary in the next month. I'm really sorry.
Please don't do this to me, ma'am. I have a family to feed. My family depends only on me, and I have a son who is still studying in college.
Me too, mom. Please, I already love this work. Maybe there is another way to help with your problem.
Yes, she's right. There is a solution with that. We just need to use recipe costing.
Okay, fine. I will not fire the 2 of you, but first, may I know what is recipe costing?
Recipe costing is the process of taking apart a menu and calculating the individual cost of each ingredient used for a specific dish. The added cost of each ingredient used will equal your total cost for a dish. Recipe costing is a very vital part of your restaurant operations. If you don't do it right, there are high chances that your restaurant will ruin into a loss, just like what happened to your restaurant right now. I conclude that you're not using recipe costing.
But how is recipe costing important?
The primary reason that makes recipe costing extremely important or recipe costing helps you to know how much food cost is incurred to prepare a dish. This gives you a clear view of how much you can earn per dish. It plays a significant role in deciding the selling price of the items on your menu. If the food cost of an item is high, it just makes sense to sell it in a higher price to garner profit. It tells you when to reduce a recipe cost if you keep up to date with your costing and see that you are going beyond your target cost percentage. You can easily plan how to reduce the cost. It gives you an insight into the dish profit margin, which you can in turn use to promote the high profit items through suggestive selling and promotions.
How can we do recipe costing?
It's easy, Mom. We just need to follow this 9 step, which you can cost your recipe just right. That will help you bolster your overall profit. Step 1. Write down the ingredients in their quantities. Make a list of all ingredients used in the recipe and state that what the weight and the measurement of each component used. When you have the menu at hand, one of the first things that you need to do is to ensure that you cost your recipes right and write down all the ingredients that go into making each dish. Step 2. Fill the prices for the ingredients. In this stage, you need to determine what the cost is of each ingredient as it is sold as a unit in the store. You need to look for the total price of each item, not taking into consideration about the cost of the exact amount of the ingredients that goes into each dish. Here, you also need to consider the edible portion of the raw materials. Step 3. Calculate the prices of the partial items. Divide the weight measurement of each ingredient used in the recipe by the weight of the unit it is sold in and multiply it by the price of the unit as a whole. This will determine the cost of each ingredient used in the particular dish. Step 4. Add it all together. Once you have the individual amount of each ingredient that goes into making a dish, you can easily add all these amounts. This step will help you determine the cost of the entire recipe. Step 5. Extract the cost of each serving. Divide the cost of the entire recipe by the number of portions that it serves. This will determine the cost of each serving. And step 6. Estimate cost for herbs and spices. If you have a weighing scale sensitive enough to measure the weight of spices that go into your recipe, then you can follow the drill mentioned above to calculate the cost of partial ingredients. Step 7. Other costs like electricity, gas, and water. So, measuring utility costs is an onerous task as it is hard to estimate how much electricity and gas actually goes towards cooking and how much of it is allocated towards lighting and ambience expenses. Step number 8. Ideal menu pricing. After you are done calculating your recipe cost, you will need to determine how to price it. One way to go about this is to use your ideal food cost percentage. And lastly, step number 9. Optimize restaurant profits through recipe costing. Recipe costing is an arduous task, but it is necessary if you wish to optimize your restaurant's profits. This process can, however, be made easier if you have an automated inventory management system in place which is synced and completely integrated with your restaurant's POS system.
Ma'am Alpha, once you have mastered the techniques of recipe costing, then you can be sure that no items in your well-designed menu will make your restaurant run into a loss. Just keep in mind and the cost that you incurred in making the dish and price your dishes accordingly.
Wow! I didn't know that my employees is this genius. You really showed to me that you shouldn't be fired. Anyways, thanks for all your help. I will really do it.